Good morning, Educational Center friends, and welcome to Storytime with Principal Bill. Today we're going to read a story from the Unique Learning System, and it's called, What Does Paris Hear? Before we start reading our story, we're going to hear about some new words that are going to be really important to listen for as we read the story. Our first word is ears. Ears are a body part that help us hear things. Hearing is one of our 5 senses. Can you guys name the other senses? Think about it. Yep, you're right. We use our eyes for sight. What else? We use our nose for smell. Very good, you guys are doing great. What else? We use our tongue, for taste. And there's one more. Can you think of it? You're right. We have the sense of touch, and we can use our whole body for the sense of touch. So remember ears as we read our story today. And as you think of ears, I think our story is going to be about sound, and we're going to hear about different types of sounds. We're going to hear about quiet sounds. Quiet sounds are sounds that are not very loud at all. There's not much sound. And we're going to hear about loud sounds. Loud sounds have a lot of noise. So we have 2 different types of sounds we're going to hear about. Quiet sounds and loud sounds. Now let's take a closer look at our story. The title is, What Does Paris Hear? Who's our author? Let's take a close look. The author is Emily Weinberger. And the illustrator, the person who drew the pictures, is Todd Gardner. Let's take a close look at the cover. What types of sounds do you think Paris is going to hear? Take a close look. I see a few different things in that picture. Do you think those sounds will be loud, or do you think they will be quiet? We're going to read the story and we're going to find out. Page 1. It is early in the morning. Paris is in her bed. The house is silent. There's no sound at all. Paris listens for sounds. She uses her ears to hear. Now she hears different sounds. It is time to get up. What sounds do you hear in the morning when it's time for you to get up? I know Principal Bill, typically the first sound I hear is my alarm clock going off in the morning. And once I've hit snooze a time or two, then I listen for other sounds. Sometimes I hear birds chirping outside, or like this morning I heard the garbage truck coming nice and early. I even hear my cats meowing because they want their breakfast. Paris hears a tap tap. Her mom is tapping on the door. The tap is quiet. She stays in bed. You hear tap? Doesn't make much noise at all. Paris hears a knock knock. Her mom is knocking on the door. The knock knock is loud. She gets out of bed. Let's compare those 2 sounds. We have a quiet sound, tap, tap, and we have a loud sound, knock, knock. Let's see what else Paris hears. Paris hears a drip, drip. Do you think that's going to be loud or quiet? The sink is dripping water. The drip, drip is quiet. The sink is off. Paris hears a swish, swish. The sink is running water. The swish, swish is loud. The sink is on. Paris hears a zzz, zzz. A bee is buzzing. Boys and girls, was that loud to you or quiet to you? Let's see how it sounded to Paris. The zzz, zzz is quiet. The bee is far away from Paris. It doesn't make much noise at all. But what happens if the bee comes closer? Paris hears a buzz, buzz. The bee is flying closer. The buzz, buzz is loud. The bee is close to Paris. When things are far away, they can be quiet. You don't hear much sound at all. But when things are closer, they get louder. Paris hears a ting ting. She is tapping on her drum set. What do you think? Is the ting ting quiet or loud? We'll find out. The ting ting is quiet. She plays lightly. She's not making much noise at all. But what happens when she plays loudly? Paris hears a bang bang. She is pounding on her drum set. The bang bang is loud. She plays hard. Paris uses her ears to hear. She hears many sounds. Some sounds are quiet. Some sounds are loud. What sounds can you hear? Today is a perfect day to take time to listen to all of the sounds around you. There's lots of sounds in the house that might be quiet or loud. There's sounds outside. You can go outside. Maybe you'll hear an animal. Maybe you'll hear a bee. Maybe you'll hear birds or cars even. Or if you're not ready to go outside today, maybe you just open a window and listen. There's also lots of videos online that have educational sounds, such as what sounds do animals make or the sounds that each letter in the alphabet makes. Take some time to focus on the sounds around you today. Before we finish, we're going to take some time to see if we remember what we read about. Let's take a look at our comprehension questions from ULS. The first question says, what does Paris use to hear? Do you guys remember from the story? What body part do you use to hear? Let's take a look at our picture choices. Do we use our shoes? No, that's a silly one. We know that's not the correct answer. What about our elbows? Do we hear with our elbows? I don't think so. I think I could feel with my elbow. I could use the sense of touch with my elbow. Let's look at our last choice. Do you use your ears to hear? Absolutely you do, and Paris used her ears too. That's the correct answer. How many of you got that one right on the first try? I bet all of you did because it was an easy one. Let's see what our second question is. What does Paris hear? Paris heard a lot of things in the story, but let's see if they're talking about something specific. Did Paris hear colors? You don't really hear colors, but you do see them, don't you? Did Paris hear food? Sometimes you can hear food cooking, or you can hear people chewing food, or you can hear it crunching. But most of the time, I think when people think of senses, they think of tasting food. Let's see if there's an answer that's better than that. Our last option is sound. Did Paris hear sounds with her ears? Yes, she did. If you guessed sounds, you're absolutely correct. You guys are doing so good so far. There's only 3 more to go. Next question. What does the tap tap sound like? Should we try it again? We heard lots of different sounds. When Paris's mom did a tap tap on the door, was it quiet or was it loud? Let's see, she did a tap tap and a... What's the difference between the two? Let's see, was that quiet or loud? Let's look at our choices. Dark? I don't think so. Dark is something you see. Was it silent? That's a tricky question. Silence is no sound at all, and I think Paris heard something. Let's look at our last choice. Was the tap tap quiet? If you said quiet, you're correct. The tap tap didn't make much sound at all. You guys are doing so good today. You have a 100% so far. 2 more questions to go. What does the bang bang sound like? Ooh, we talked about a tap tap. Now we've got a bang bang. Let's see. Was the bang bang quiet? What do you think? The ting ting was quiet, but not the bang bang. I played drums in school, and the bang bang was never quiet when I played the drums. Was the bang bang bright? Bright is something that you see, not hear. Let's look at our last question, our last answer choice. The bang bang was loud. It made lots of noise, didn't it? You guys are so smart. You're doing a great job. And we have 1 more to go. What makes the buzz buzz sound? Let's take a look at our choices. We have a dog. Does a dog say buzz buzz? Think about it. I don't think a dog does say buzz buzz. What does a dog say? Does a dog say woof woof? If you said woof woof, you're absolutely correct. What about a drum? What did the drum say? You're right. The drum said bang bang. It was loud. Only leaves us with 1 choice. There's only one thing that says buzz buzz, and it's a bee. You guys did so well today. You got 100% of the questions correct. I am so proud of you. Hopefully you'll see me back tomorrow or another one of our Educational Center friends for some more story time. In the meantime, make sure you're following us on Facebook. We're trying to communicate lots of information to our families through our Educational Center Facebook page, and that Facebook name is Monroe County Educational Center _official. I hope everybody has a great Monday, and I look forward to seeing you soon.